Hi, everyone. Welcome back.
Hi.
Welcome back to another episode. If this is the first time that you are listening to us, welcome. Today, we are honored to be here with author Kandi Steiner.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, we are huge fans of your books, love them to pieces. And so, do you want to, for the people who have not read your books, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Yeah, my name is Kandi Steiner. I am a USA Today bestselling author, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
And I live in Chattanooga, Tennessee. I have been writing for and publishing for 13 years now, but really have been writing since I was a little girl. And I have published over 40 books, which is kind of crazy to say. Some of
Amazing.
my most
Crazy.
popular ones that you might recognize are A Love Letter to Whiskey and Blindside and
Yes.
The Wrong Game. So those are just a few from my 40. But I'm super excited because I think we are mostly going to talk about my brand new release, Love Overboard, today. So I'm super
Yes.
pumped about that. But yeah, I love to write and to read, obviously. I'm also an outdoors girly, love to hike and travel. I have a baby who's now a toddler. Actually, it's super weird.
Oh,
She's 20 months old. And I also do, we were just talking about this too. I do pole dance fitness. So lots of things that we can talk
Amazing.
about today.
We love this. And
we love.
congratulations on your baby.
Yeah.
Welcome to motherhood.
What a ride. What a
It is
ride.
what a ride that no one gives you a manual for because I was literally talking about this the other day. I'm like, I wish that when I had my son, that someone would have just given me a manual and be like, here you go. And it's just kind of like you figure it out as you go, which I mean is the best. But
It is. The things that I was Googling in the first 3 months of her life, though, like hilarious. I wish I would have kept my browser history just from those 3 a.m. Googles. Like, I remember when she was maybe like 2 months old and, she had been fed, her diaper was changed, she would not sleep, she was crying hysterically. And I remember Googling, does my baby hate me? I was like, she is not bonded to me. She does not love me. And then, the morning light comes the next day and you're like, oh, I was just sleep deprived, actually.
yeah,
Everything's
Yeah.
fine.
exactly. Yeah. That was like when my mom was like, why are you waking up the baby to be fed? I'm like, because that's what the nurses at the hospital told me. She's like, you never wake a sleeping baby. I was like, okay, queen, I guess. And then I had my first night's sleep uninterrupted, and I was like, my mom was right.
Oh, I know. My mom was like that too. She told me not to wake a sleeping baby. I still did though. I did wake Rosie to feed her like every, I think, 3 or 4 hours
Yeah,
once she hit her goal weight, then my doctor was like, okay, like she's back to birth weight. You can stop waking her up. And of course, then I didn't need to wake her up because she would wake herself up. So
exactly.
Oh,
she's such a great she's such a great sleeper though. Like knock on every piece of wood. Like
I'm
I feel
knocking
so
on it for you
fortunate.
right now.
yes.
Number one rule of sleep club is you don't talk about sleep clubs, so I will just leave it at that.
Exactly. No regressions in this house.
That's right.
Anyways, so for the listeners who have not read your books, how would you describe them in one sentence or multiple sentences if you want?
Yeah, I mean, I think the best way to put it is that I typically write romance that hurts a little bit before it feels good. So I like to take you
I
on a
love
bit
that.
of a messy ride. And that's not every book. Like truly I follow my heart on what I want to write, which is kind of why I am a little bit all over the place. I have something for everyone. But across the board, you can almost guarantee I'm going to put you through the ringer a little bit before I give you your happy ever after.
I actually really love that,
Yeah.
to be honest with you. Because I feel like if you just like give it all to me at once, I'm kind of just like, you
Like you just
need
know.
you need a little bit of like a zhuzh. You get me?
And I know we all get in the mood sometimes for like a very light and easy, where there's no conflict and especially with the world being the way it is. But I have just found that it's almost impossible for me to write that. Like I really love the angst. And when I say angst, it doesn't always have to be painful and messy, although I do like to write those versions as well. But it can just be that delicious type of angst. Like in one of my books, Blindside, is like a fake dating sports romance. And in it, he's teaching her, all the things. She knows nothing. And so it's spicy lessons and fake, in quotations, fake dating. And you just get this nice, like, gut squirmy feeling with them because you know that they're doing stuff where feelings are developing, but they're so firmly in the fake dating. Like, oh, no,
Yes.
no. Like, we're just like, I'm doing it to get my ex back and you're
Yeah.
doing it to get the attention of this person. And So I love that slow build of delicious because I think the payoff in the end is so much better than if they just like each other from the fifth page,
From
you
the
know?
get-go. Yeah, yeah, like, the tension I feel like in books is the best, like, cause like, you're already like I'm one of those readers that, like, stays up till, like, 2 a.m., and I'm just like, "But you guys like each other, like, just do it already." Like, I'm just like,
Yeah.
and then obviously, like, when they kiss for the first time or whatever, or
It's
they
all
share
screams.
it's
All
all
screams.
screams. Yeah, yeah, my whole household wakes up and the next morning, they're like, "You were loud," and I'm just like, "Sorry, not
I
sorry."
love
I was
Carmen,
like
you need to do those videos where you, like, record yourself when reading a book and, like, post your reactions.
I
I
know.
live for them. I live for them, and I am not, like, a super emotive reader, like, I will be, like I might smile or kinda, like, giggle, but I love when readers are literally, like, screaming into their pillows. I'm like, "Yes, give me more of
I know,
this."
because 'cause I've seen those
Yeah.
videos on TikTok, and I'm like, "I should do this," but, like, half of the time, it's like my phone is in another room. I'm in my reading room just trying to, like, zen out and, like, read, and then I'm like, "No one caught my reaction. You know what? I should just put a Ring camera in there."
Yeah,
Yes.
that would be so funny, actually.
It would just be like a comedy show at this point because the things that come out of my mouth unfiltered are crazy, but
Yes.
enough about me. We're here for you. But okay, so what kind of reader do you think instantly connects with your writing?
Ooh, I think you're going to really love my writing if you appreciate the human experience. Like, if you understand that everybody ticks a different way because they've been through different things, if you like to understand why a connection happens between characters and why they fall in love, if you really like to go on dates and like talk to characters and be there as they're falling in love, like you're going to find that in my books. And if you like that feeling of sort of the slow burn and the angst and the tension, more so than you care about like how much spice is in it or like when I don't know when I was going to say when it happens, but to be fair, most of mine are not going to happen until about 50%. There are some outliers, I will say that. But I just think like if you the kind of readers who are going to appreciate my books are the ones who can take off their like this is how I would do it hat and let me bring them into a story, into a different character and say, okay, let me tell you this character's background. Let me show you how they grew up and what they're feeling and how they are going to react in this situation. And you just get to jump on the ride and kind of come along for the fun.
I love that. I actually really do like when like things get interesting at like 50%. Or like even like if you give me like a tease at like 15, but it doesn't like come to full fruition. Cause then I'm like,
Mhm.
I kind of do like this, like the
Yes.
Cardi B meme.
Yes. I mean, here's the thing, it's not like I'm boring you to tears for 50% of
No,
the book, right? Like I'm giving you the what I call the Darcy hand flex moments. So you're getting the little touches, you're getting maybe the kiss or like, maybe they start to go farther than that and then there's a reason why they can't and they have to pull back and they're trying
Mhm.
to respect
yeah,
a forbidden bound. Like there's so many things and I love to write stories like that where there are high stakes and there is a real
a
reason why
hundred.
they can't be together.
100%. Yeah. No, that's amazing. I love that. That's one of my favorite things that authors do, to be honest with you. Okay, you've written across different romance spaces. What keeps you inspired after so many books?
That's a great question. And I think it's just continuing to follow my heart in terms of what I want to write. If you look across my catalog, you're going to see everything from marriage and trouble to small town romance mystery to a college university series with 7 different points of view to college sports romance to pro hockey romance. Like, I mean, it's just whatever I feel driven to write, that's what I am going to lean into. And my readers have learned now to just trust me on the journeys I'm going to take them on. Like, I'm like coming out of my pro hockey romance era, and I'm like, okay, guys, now we're getting on a yacht in the Mediterranean with a reality TV show. And they're like, okay, bet, let's go.
Love that you're like a jack of all trades author, to be honest with you.
Literally.
Because I feel like sometimes there are certain authors that just stay within like their niche, which is fine.
Mhm.
I'm not hating on that at all. But I like when authors like venture out and write something that they've never really written. You know what I
It's
mean?
fun. And I like I said, I feel like I have something for everybody. So if somebody comes to me and they're like, "I don't want a series, I just want a standalone because I can't commit to reading 17 books right now." I'm like, "Great, I
Mhm.
have like 20 standalones that I can throw you into and you can just read that one book and walk away." But if someone comes to me and is like, "I am a sports romance girly, I am voracious, I read a book a day and I need a lengthy series to dive into." I'm like, "Great. Start with the Red Zone Rivals and then you can go to the Kings of the Ice and then I've got more for you when you're done with that." So I
Yeah.
love that because as a reader, I'm a mood reader, and as a writer, I'm a mood writer. So sometimes I really want to write something angsty and fun and different and unique and like a standalone that I can just wrap up in a tiny bow and walk away. And other times I'm ready to create this really complex world with all of these found family characters of a series and lead you from one story point to the other 6 books later. So I just kind of follow whatever my little writer heart wants me to do. And for I have really incredible readers who trust me to do that.
I love that you're like a free bird. I do want to ask you though, do you have like a notebook in which, like an idea pops into your head, maybe like 4 a.m., like you're dreaming and you're like, I gotta wake up and write this because like you never know when like gold strikes kind of.
Yeah, I do love handwriting. However, I have the handwriting of like a chicken with a pin in its claws. Like it is bad. It is so bad. So I do wake up out as I'm falling asleep or sometimes out of a dead sleep, but I reach for my phone and I have a
Mm,
whole slew
Okay.
of notes in my phone that are just book idea, book idea. If it's actually for a book I'm currently writing or one that's coming up, I might write something like football book or like the actual title, like meet your match and like this is the idea that I have for it or whatever, and then I shelve it away. And then when I sit down to plot my book and like brainstorm the characters and really flesh it out before I start writing, the first thing I do is go to my phone notes and type in book idea and all of them populate and I'm like, okay, which one of these like was supposed to be for this book? Let me pluck them out and then see if I can make sense of them. So yes, I always do that too because I've had so many great ideas that have left me because I'll be falling asleep and I think of something and I'm like, surely I'll remember tomorrow and I don't.
no.
But the mom brain is real. It's like you become a goldfish. I've said this a million times. Like I tell Laura all the time, I'm like, my brain is sparkly. You need to talk to me between the hours of 8 and 12 p.m. because like that's it. 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. After that, it's like, booze, I've had
Man, the
my
late afternoon hours are the worst. I'm like, that's when I need to be at the gym or on my walks, like physically doing something because my brain is
yes.
is tired.
You need like the second wind. So my second wind is soda time, whether it be a Diet Coke or a Dr. Pepper, because coffee is just not my jam anymore. But I'm the same way. I was like, sometimes I'm like, I gotta go out for a walk. I can't. I'm overstimulated. I need my brain too.
You
So
know what
more
my friends call Diet Cokes fridge cigs. Have you guys heard of this terminology? It's like your
no
cigarette break, but it's your fridge cig. So,
way.
like,
I
they'll
love
go
this.
get their Diet Coke out and they'll, like, tap it. They're like, "Ah, fridge cig time."
Queen. I
Makes me laugh
love
every time.
that. Like not me about to post that on Instagram later when I post my
As you should, as you should.
a fridge sig. That's amazing. If I did, I already
That's so
loved you.
good.
This just made me love you even more.
I get it. The caffeine girlies, we have to stay united.
Yes, we
Oh
really
my
do.
god.
We really do.
Yeah. I do want to talk about the new book because, like, personally, it surprised me from you. I was not expecting it.
Same,
Like,
same.
I feel like I was expecting your new book to to completely like blow me off. Obviously, like it happened too, obviously, but like I was not expecting like to be in a boat, to be like in a reality show.
Surprise.
Yeah.
Surprise. I was very surprised. And the minute that I started reading this, I was like, I know where this is going.
Yes, for sure. But for the readers who are gonna read this eventually, what would be the elevator pitch?
Okay. All right. We step onto an elevator and you ask me what Love Overboard is about. And I'm going to pitch it to you as if it's you. So I'm going to say, imagine you just got your dream job as chief stew on a super yacht. You have been working in the yachting world, working your way up to this point, and you're super stoked. And sure, you had to agree to be on a reality TV show to make it happen, but like, who cares? You're going to make that bag. And then
Mm,
you step onto the boat and come to find out the person they hired to be the chef on the charter season with you is the man who nearly sank you 2 years ago. He
correct.
broke your heart. Now you're forced to live with him in close proximity and work together with him while you try to make this name for yourself. And just when you think things can't get worse, we already have cameras watching our every move, you find out that your new roommate and Deck Stew is his new girlfriend. Yikes.
Man,
I wasn't well,
honestly,
okay?
we both
I
were.
just no.
I have no
I'm
words,
okay.
literally, because I will say this. I love reality TV. We've
Yes.
like Laura and I have talked about this on a previous episode that I'm just like with my popcorn, I'm like, oh, my life isn't this bad. I can watch everyone
Right?
else's life explode. Yeah.
The drama is kind of delicious. Like it's fun to watch.
It's so good. Like I'm a Bravo girly, like through and through till my heart's content. Like the Housewives, like, Vanderpump Rules, all of that. And it's just like when they go through things, I am like, my besties are going through it too. Like,
Mhm. Have you
so,
been keeping up with like all the Summer House drama that's happening? I don't
you
even
know,
watch Summer House and I've been
I
like
haven't
eating this.
watched Summer House too. It's actually funny because my friend I used to live in Virginia. So my friend who lived in my apartment complex, she's like, girl. Like she just sent me that text. She was just
Girl.
like, girl. And I was like, hey, how's it going? And she was like, have you been watching Summer House? Because we used to watch The Housewives together. And I was like, no, I know what it is, but I haven't watched it. And she's like, get on that ASAP and then let me know. And I was just like, okay, but I haven't gone down that rabbit hole yet.
My goodness. Yeah. I have not watched either, but Laura Pavlov is my reality TV junkie. Her and Gianna Darling, we talk about it all the time together. So Gianna and I have our shows that we watch together, and then Laura is a big Bravo girly, and I am the Below Deck girly. She is the Housewives, and so anyway, we compare stories. And so anyway, so Laura watches Summer House, and she was like, I know you don't watch the show, but I have to catch you up on all this drama. And she sends me like 20 minutes of voice notes, just filling me in. She's sending me pictures about Sierra and just the whole thing. Anyway, but I love it. And we love to just yak about reality TV. So when I told her I was writing this book, she was like, Candy, I'm dying. She's like, I wanna read it. Like, send it to me when you're done. And she read the first 3 chapters that I actually used to go out on submission to find a publisher who wanted to do it with me.
Amazing.
But she was reading like the confessionals that open each chapter and everything. And she was like,
Mhm.
I am like literally dying. This reads just like a reality TV show. Like, I can't wait for the reunion. And I'm like, oh, there's a reunion coming. Like, anyway,
Those are the best.
like I've seen so many early reviews be like, it is for the below deck girlies, it's for the reality TV girlies. But also, I feel like even if you don't get down with reality TV, it's a super fun book to read and get like some fun added extras that you just don't get in a typical contemporary romance. Like it's going to just feel fresh and new.
I
And that
have
it
to say
does.
though, because I'm not a reality TV girl at all. And I love this book. It was so fun. Like I didn't even know there was a show about
Yeah,
this.
surprise.
And we were talking about it. And she was like, oh my God, I think this is like similar to another show. And I'm like, wait, I feel like I need to watch this now.
It was like, this is Below Deck. I was like,
It is
I
Yeah,
know
so
this.
thank
below
you.
deck coded.
I know. I was like, this is Below Deck. Like, I am living for it because like I've watched a couple of seasons of Below Deck. I can't tell you names. I can't tell you. I know that the older gentleman who's the captain. I love that he's like sassy and grumpy,
Yeah,
and
Captain Lee. Yes.
there we go, Captain Lee. Because the lady who does like the Mediterranean season, I'm not a fan of her. But
Captain
Captain Lee,
Sandy, oh, she's such a baddie. She's a rare bird. She's an interesting gal, but I love
I'd give
her.
her another
As you
chance.
can see, I know all the captains. I'm like, who else? Do you want to talk about hottie Captain Jason? Because we can talk about him now.
Captain Jason was very good looking. I will say that. I don't remember his name, but I was like, there was a good looking one. But man, the drama that unfolds, and I just can't even imagine just being in such close proximity to one another. You know what I mean? I wouldn't even be able to like, you know,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know. As you
that's what
can see, I love
I
I
love the
love the drama.
forced proximity, like any trope like that where they're like forced to be together more often than you typically would run into somebody. I'm just like
Yeah.
eating it up with a spoon. And the fact that they have to work together. So if you have never watched Below Deck or you're not familiar with the charter seasons that happen on yachts, first of all, it's fascinating. highly recommend the show and even more so my book because it will be super fun. But so the chief stew is kind of like the head of the interior department. So you can think of her as like front of house. Like if you go to a restaurant, she's going to be the manager who comes out and like make sure everything is going okay at your table and yada yada. She's running the hostess and she's running the whatever. And then chef is in the back and they work hand in hand together. So they are constantly talking about like what are we serving for each meal? When are we serving it? How are we serving it? Like what dishes do you want pulled? What wine do we want paired? Like it is a constant communicative like relationship between them. Putting two exes in that role and having cameras filming their every interaction. I
Yeah.
mean, it was like catnip for me. I was like, I love this.
Yes. No, it's like I
Yes.
could just picture it because like I mean, it's happened on the show.
It
And
has.
it's just yes, it's very
This
Yeah.
just
messy.
got interesting.
It's just you know what? You and I should watch it together and
Okay.
we should just have a below deck party because the things that unfold on there and then it's just like it's messy, but it's just honestly, I would love to be a producer of the show.
Yeah, it would be so fun.
I mean, honestly, I wouldn't survive. I get really bad motion sickness. Like, I would be throwing up on the side of the boat. Like, the poor girl, like, on Dramamine the whole time, you know?
No.
No.
I don't know for sure if on the show if a chief stew and a chef have hooked up. I'm trying to rack my brain for all 25 seasons that I've watched. But the crew is constantly hooking up. And sometimes like two crew like let's say a deckhand and a stew hook up, but then
Mm-hmm.
they realize they actually like other people or one person is like I'm not into you anymore. So then you have drama because then they start
Yes.
hooking up with somebody else and they are living in like when I say close quarters, I mean they are sometimes
Close.
bunking like two or three people to a room, tiny room, like bunking on top of each other, all in the little crew mess that's like this tiny little part of the underbelly of the boat. And then you're working together huge days. Like I'm talking like they work like 18-hour days. So
Yes.
it's crazy. So from the time you wake
I,
up till the time you go to sleep, you're surrounded by these people. And even on your day off, you go party with these people.
I'm
yes.
shocked right now.
Sometimes they bunk together because, like, if you're dating someone on the ship, they, like, magically wake up in bed together. And I was just like, this is getting messy.
Oh
Yup,
my
yup.
god.
This is getting messy. Like,
I need to
I
watch this
don't.
now.
I told you,
What?
Bravo makes good stuff. If
Do
this
we
was
have that
Bravo
in
and you're,
Ireland? I don't know if we have this in Ireland.
I don't know. I can give you my Peacock password though.
She says, I'll log
We'll
you
figure it
in.
out.
Plug you
Yes,
in, Queen. It's fine. But listen,
it's
Bravo,
fine.
if you're listening, please sponsor us, or at least let us go and watch what happens live with Kandi,
Yes,
with
please.
Maybe we
Andy,
could go to the reunion.
or they can
Any
Yeah,
send us to
reunion.
BravoCon. Kandi, they should get you on BravoCon.
I would die to go to BravoCon. I would
I'm
just
manifesting this for you, Queen. It's happening. Let's go.
Yes, we're doing this.
We're doing this.
Let's say, what make you want to tell these stories specifically?
Well, as you can tell, I love the show. There's something really interesting to me about the dynamic, again, of like the forced proximity of people who are working together and living together and just working in this really interesting job where they're making like a lot of money because they're working for rich
Mm-hmm.
people and they're doing these crazy jobs, right? So it's a very cool, like fun experience to learn about. But I think my second date with my now husband. Went out to a bar after we had like had our date because in his words, I'm not ready for the night to end. What a man. So he takes me out to a bar. He doesn't even drink, mind you. So he's just sitting there while I drink and like hanging out. But he says flippantly, like, yeah, like, for a while I worked on yachts in South Florida. And I was like, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. Wait a second. Rewind. Tell
Wait,
me
what?
everything. So he worked on yachts. He did not work in the charter season. He worked for private boats, which are like yachts
Okay,
that are
yeah.
owned by like one family and you just kind of work with them forever. But still lots of drama between the people. Like it's a very interesting group of people who typically end up working on yachts and you have a lot of
Yeah.
different big personalities and stuff. So he's telling me all this stuff and I'm just like feverishly jotting stuff down. And I told him that night, I was like, whether you and I work out or not, I hope you know that I'm going to be using all of this
For future
in a book one
reference.
day. Yeah. So
Yeah.
and I did. And I did. So I actually wrote another boat romance before this called Close Quarters, but it's not in the charter season. There's no reality TV show. It's an owner yacht. And a lot of that was inspired by the things that my husband told me on that date. And then it just kept like every time I would go to write a new book, I kept wanting to go back to that world. I was like, "Oh, I wanna be on a yacht again," and, like, I want the, like, drama of the reality TV show, and Ember and Finn came to me as a short story at first, so if any of you have ever read, I was in an anthology years ago called Evil Queen, and I wrote a story, and all the stories are named after the main female character, so it was Ember. Now, in that story, it's like an alternate universe for Ember and Finn, I guess you could say. So I just took the inspiration that I felt during that short story and wrote them in an alternate timeline. And so here
I
they are.
love that. I love that so much. Wait, but I'm a South Florida girly too.
Are you? I
I
didn't know
am.
that. Nice.
I was raised in Miami. So
Okay.
I
Okay.
know about like yacht culture, not that I was like on a yacht all the time. I had friends that had like boats and stuff, but like my parents had friends who had like yachts or whatever. So I never got to experience like the whole below deck thing or anything like that. But listen, would I have loved to have been a fly on the wall on a super yacht? Absolutely.
Obviously.
Yes, please.
Absolutely.
What was your favorite scene to write in this book, though?
There's so many good ones. I don't want to spoil anything, but I think one of my favorites is they both have secret tattoos for each other, and he discovers
Yes.
hers like pretty early on and
Mm-hmm.
like kind of asks her about it nonchalantly, and she just kind of like is like, "Oh, whatever," and kind of brushes it off. But there's a scene where we find out that he has a tattoo for her, and for her, like, she has a bunch of tattoos. She has a bunch of little micro tattoos that she gets from different things in her life, and he has like none. So the fact that he has one for her, like when it all comes out, the way it comes out, just that whole scene was such a turning point for them, because I think that's when she realized like, oh, it was never over for him either. And like I think
Yeah.
they start to really be like, did the universe put us back together for a reason? Like, so I love
I
that
love
scene
that.
so much.
Yeah. I feel like that was one of my favorite too. Like I was literally on the edge of my seat, like, what tattoo? What?
What?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Yes. And I was like, he got a tattoo.
I don't
I
know.
love
It's
that.
just there's just something in like when a guy gets like a tattoo for like his woman. You know what I mean? And then like a surprise tattoo. And then it's just like you nonchalantly find and be like, "Oh, my man got a tattoo for me. How
And after
swell."
all the drama, I
After
was
all
not
the
expecting
drama.
it. No,
Girl,
I literally was
girl,
not expecting it.
that to me shows that a man loves you.
Man,
Yeah,
like so intense. It like that's forever.
That is forever. 100%.
literally.
Like
That's him saying,
that's not coming off.
and they were like broken up at the time. So he was pretty much saying like, even if we are never together again, like I have to have her
A
embedded
little
on me
piece
for
of
life.
her.
Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah.
listen, I was
No,
unwell. I was like, don't talk to me for a good 30 minutes. I need to process this. Like, Laura and I were going back and forth, and I was just like, I don't know how I'm going to bounce back after that
literally.
because
No, I think we
it's
took a
so
little
beautiful.
break.
We did take a little break. We took a wine
Yeah.
break. I did. She drank water. It's
Yeah, I'm
fine.
a water
It's
girly.
cheers,
But
queen.
yeah. Did anything about this story surprise you while you were writing it? Like, did you like let the story like guide you, or like how did it go basically?
Yeah, like the whole end surprised me. I was so excited to write the beginning and like to focus so much on their relationship and the slow burn of it and the reveal of things, that when I got to the end, like the conflict that I had originally plotted out, I was like, this just doesn't make sense for them. Like there's no way they're turning away from each other now. Like
Yeah.
they've been through hell and back. Like this is it. And so I reworked the entire ending, which was such a surprise and ended up being so fun. It was very reality TV coded. It was like all this chaos is happening. And it was super fun to write because, again, this whole book, there's high stakes. And one of my biggest pet peeves is when you read a book where they say there are high stakes, but then when something happens, like it's actually like, oh, everything's fine. Actually, no
Mm-hmm.
consequences have to happen. I hate
Yeah.
that because I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean? This whole time I've had my stomach in knots, like worried that they were going to get caught because this whole thing would happen and then nothing even happens. So
Mm-hmm.
to me, it felt so satisfying at the end because you have them as a united front, but there's also so much outside conflict that they have to face together. And I just feel like
Agreed.
it brought them even closer together.
Yeah.
Man, I
Just
just
so
kind of
good.
want, you know what? Like, I loved it the first time. I feel like I need to reread it again.
I love this
Yeah.
for you.
You know what I
And
mean?
listen
Because
to the
it's just
duet
like,
audio. The audiobook is insane. If you are an immersive reader or an audiobook girly, like, it's insane. It's insane. Imagine all the accents and, like, it's duet narrated. It's insane.
wait. You
This
with
is why I've
accent?
been saving my credits. This
Uh,
is why.
This is the moment right now because I have 2 Audible credits waiting to be locked and loaded into something.
let's go. Let's go.
You
My
just made
God.
my day, queen, and that doesn't happen lightly. I will tell you that.
Wait, who
I can
narrates?
It's Hannah Chiclana and Walker Williams. They are both incredible. Probably
Okay.
names that you're not super familiar with
Mm,
because I work with a boutique narration company and production company. It's a husband and wife pair. They are
Oh, I
so
love that.
lovely. They like Hannah is both producer, actress, narrator, and like casting director. So she does it all. She is a woman of many
amazing.
hats, like queen energy. So somebody you might know from their production so I was the first narrator that
Mhm.
Megan Wicks ever narrated for, and now
Okay.
she's off doing her thing. So, and you might also know Edward Black is with them as well.
Yes.
Mhm.
So Walker Williams for me, if anybody listening ever listened to Save Your Breath, he was Alex in Save Your Breath, and that was when he really won me over and won my heart, and I knew he would be perfect to play Finn and
I
everybody else,
love
every
that.
other male character on the
And
show.
he nails the accent because
Every accent, and he had to audition for me, so I was like, "Okay, not only do you have to do an Irish accent, but you have to do a Scottish accent, an Australian accent, a South African accent, and an English
Yeah.
accent."
and he
So,
does them all.
he does them all.
Amazing. I
Wow.
literally just got back from Ireland and Scotland, like, not even a week ago. So
Yes,
I'm like, the accents are fresh in my brain.
let's go.
Fresh, literally. I was visiting Laura. I'm like, fresh in my brain.
I love that, how fun.
I know. I was
Yeah.
jet setting in Europe. It was great. But okay, what can you tell us about Finn, the MMCs, and why are readers going to fall for him?
Well, I mean, he is an Irish chef, like, enough said. I
Enough
think
said. Yeah,
I am so hot for a man who cooks, like, a man who cooks is just
same.
it's so hot to me. So I think that's gonna be a big part of it, but also he is sort of, like, grumpy and surly with her. It's very like, in the beginning of this book, it's very enemies to lovers coded. Like, it's second chance, but in the beginning,
Yes,
they don't see a second chance. Like, she is pissed at him. She's like, "I hate that you still exist. I hate that I love you, and I hate that you're here."
rightfully so.
Rightfully so. And
Yeah.
so there's a lot of high heat, tension, a lot of fights and bantering and, like, bickering at each other, and then he will just slide in with these, like, remarks. Like, there's a part in the beginning where they're fighting, and he's like, "Fine, you win." And she's like, "I'm not trying to win. I happen to know that's impossible when it comes to you." And he's like, "Well, for sleep's sake, like, I need to get sleep, like, I'm knackered, so we're just gonna pretend like you win." And what did he say? He's like, as much as I used to love getting under your skin just so I could spank it out of you, I'm tired, so I'm going to sleep.
Wait, I highlighted that. I highlighted that on my Kindle. It's
Like,
just like
he will
any
just
mention of like a
slide in.
spanking, and I'm just like,
Ugh. So he's
yeah.
Yeah.
usually, like, not gonna let her forget. Like, he's like, "You can pretend like you hate me all you want, but I know the truth." And so it's infuriating and so good, and then so you're kind of, like, with him for a little bit, and then you start to get these glimpses of who he really is and the softer side of him and how bad, like, down bad he is for Ember and always has been. And it's just I love a character like that where you can sort of peel back his
Yeah.
layers like a sweet little onion
I was
and
just about to
find
say
more.
that. Yeah. I think he's like a cinnamon roll. Looks like a cinnamon roll, but could kill you. You know what I mean? I mean, could probably kill you, but he's just like, I'm like, you're warm and gooey inside. Like, you just love
He's
her. I'm
so
just
warm
like,
and gooey.
you're just being difficult right now,
Also,
as
I
most
will
men
say
are.
the angst in this book builds
The
so,
yes,
like, nicely because it's from her point of view. So you get the interviews and you get kind of everyone's point of view through the interviews that open up each chapter, but the whole book is from her point of view. And I love that because we only live life through one point of view. We don't know what the other person is thinking. So all those times she thinks he's thinking certain things or, like, wonders but isn't sure. And when it all comes to a head, there's a scene where they're in this alley and, like, everything just comes to a head and like it's like the fuck it moment and you find
I
out
know.
everything he's been thinking and everything that's been going on and it like to me the emotional payoff is just like I was like fist in the air like riding off into the sunset on the back of a horse like it was the best.
Yes. Literally my thoughts.
Yes,
Literally,
love it.
the best moment in like a book is like the fuck it moment. Amen. Sometimes like I've read books that don't have the fuck it moment, and I'm just like, why? Yeah, where is it
Literally.
at? Like, but I mean, yes, I think that's one of the reasons that like I love Finn. Like what you mentioned is like, get yourself a man that can cook. If you don't have a man that can cook, like show him the door.
Dude,
Yeah.
there's also a scene
That's all I
again,
have to say.
I'm trying not to spoil anything, but there's a scene, a really big breakthrough scene for them where like, you know, he has to make crew breakfast, crew lunch. So in addition to cooking for the guests who come on board, he's also cooking for this whole crew. And she wakes up after and they've all been out all night, like they've been drinking. Now they have to get ready for this new charter to come on. And the crew breakfast is out and there's something that she really loves there that like nobody else wants
I know what you mean.
and she
I
just
was crying
remembers, like,
internally.
oh my god, like, so he made it for her, and it's like his love language is cooking, right? So it's like this very subtle way of him saying, like, "Yeah, I
I
still
still
love
love
you."
you.
Like,
Yeah,
obviously.
I'm. Ugh, it's just
That man.
there are
I
not
can't.
enough good things that I can say about this book, and we can sit here for hours and just
Yeah.
shoot the shit and just talk about it because it's just so well written. Like
Hmm.
it's, and I will say this, like it's just, it might be one of my favorites.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Like this
Thank
is a
you so much.
top 2026 book for me.
Oh, thank you.
For
I
sure.
honestly have been kind of like having nervous butterfly belly because I've seen so many early reviews from readers like it's the book of the summer, it's my new favorite book of 2026 and I'm like,
Yes.
"Oh my god, like it's
Yes.
incredible and also makes me like sweaty." It's
But
like the
sweaty in
best
a good
feeling.
way. You know,
Sweaty
that
in the
you're just
best
like,
way.
yeah, like you're not freaking out, but like I love this for you. Like it is just, it's a breath of fresh air of like
Mhm.
of a read. You know what I mean? Because it's
Literally.
so different than everything that I've read recently. Not that I've read bad books, but I'm just saying
Sure.
like it's just nice to like change the pace a little, you know?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well,
And
thank you.
I
I mean, it means the world to me to hear things like that just because it is such like a solitary thing for a long time. Like I'm working on this book, I'm building it from scratch. Like I'm turning a blank document from nothing into 100,000 word book, right?
yeah, of
And
course.
trying to take a reader on a journey and make them feel all the things. So I get so nervous when arcs go out, but I'm also so excited because I'm finally like handing my baby over to be like, okay,
Mhm.
what do you think? And so when those first reviews start to roll in, and people tag me and they're like, "Oh my god, I loved it," it makes my heart soar. So it means a lot to me.
And props to whoever beta or alpha reads for you. Like what a dream.
They did
What
their
a
thing.
dream.
They did their thing. Yeah, I have a
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
great team. They have a really great team. I'm very blessed to have them. And
Well,
they
if you're
catch me
ever
on things.
looking to add two
Okay.
more,
Okay. She said, "Where's the application?
just
Let's go."
Yeah.
for real,
Wait.
we're here for you. I do want to ask you, obviously, about Ember and what kind of FMC you wanted to create for her in this story.
Yeah, so Ember is like that girl. Like she is
Hmm.
so strong, fierce. Like she's like, I know what I want from life. I know what brings me joy. I'm going to relentlessly pursue this career, even though I know it doesn't make my dad proud. Like it worries my mom. And she's just kind of on a mission to prove herself, which as a woman in literally any industry, I feel like you can relate to this. Like we sort of are always trying to prove ourselves, whether it's to, to ourselves or to people who we're close to or to our bosses or whoever the case may be. And so Ember is like, not only is she on a mission to prove that she can be Chief Stew, like she can run a super yacht with 5-star service, 6-star service, and like do it with a smile. But she's also on a mission to prove to her dad that, like, even though she's not, you know, maybe on the path that he had laid out for her or hoped that she would be on. Like she has made her own path and it's beautiful and lovely and she's great at what she does. And so there's a lot of pressure on her from the outside. And then Finn certainly adds to that. So if you've ever been a woman who just feels like the weight of everything is on your shoulders and like it's kind of stressful and exciting at the same time, then I think you're going to relate to Ember a lot.
Agreed. I just love that she just like she wants to do what she wants to do. And like she obviously cares. She cares, but she doesn't care. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, she kinda serves it to Finn a little bit, like, she's like, "No, you're not gonna play these little games with me. Go back to your girlfriend, like,
Yeah.
whatever." But then also she's, like, so in love with him, so she's, like, questioning what happened when they broke up and, like, what would have happened if things would have been different, and anyway, so it is really interesting
Mhm.
to watch her sort of go through the mental gymnastics that she goes through because, again, as a woman, I don't know anybody who hasn't been there, like, all of my friends, we talk about this all the time where you get in situations and you're like, if I could go back in time, I might have done things a little bit differently, but I was just
Mhm.
in the heat of the moment. This is what felt right to me. And you get so much clarity when you walk away from situations. So here she is facing this man who completely wrecked her 2 years ago. And we don't often get to run into exes again and be forced to work with them on a super yacht. So it's a lot of working through past trauma and also like rediscovering who they were then, who they are now, and like what young love, can sometimes turn out to be
Hmm.
if communication is not always the clearest, right?
Yeah. I
Literally.
mean, communication is always, I always say that. I mean, like any relationship, communication is key. Like if you don't have that, then you don't have anything.
I
Because,
know.
and
I
especially
agree.
like when you're younger, I mean, it's even harder when you're older. But like if you can like kind of like, figure that out in your 20s, then you're golden for the rest of your life. But
My Gianna Darling and I have a podcast and we talk about this a lot with the miscommunication trope. Like it's one that is hated by so many.
yes.
But what's crazy about that is that it's hated by so many, but actually, so many of us have experienced it in our lives. Like, we know what it's like to when you're young and you don't know how to communicate your feelings, or you're scared to communicate your feelings, or it feels complicated, or you have other things going on in your life. The problem is not miscommunication, it's poorly written miscommunication. Like, if
Agreed.
you write a miscommunication trope, you better have some damn good reasons why it happened. You better walk us through it. You better let us feel it. Don't just be
Yes.
like they're about to say something and then someone walks through the door because that person's going to walk out. And then the next logical step is to say, what I was going to say to you is XYZ.
Yeah.
So
Agreed.
I think that's why it gets a bad rep.
It does get a bad rep. And I've read some books that I'm just like, I've thrown my iPad at the wall. Well, okay.
Almost.
Gently.
Almost.
Gently.
Right.
That's why she's
You
in a
wanted to
case.
throw it.
No, no, no. I actually did at some point. There was a pillow. So, I mean, it soft landed.
Soft landing.
But
Yeah.
it's just like, you get so frustrated. And
Hmm.
I was just like, if this was just like, if we would have just gotten like a little bit of more context, I wouldn't have been frustrated. But it's fine. I know that we did talk that like the beginning of the book is kind of like enemies to lovers coded. It is very second chance. So those, can you, how I want to word it is that like, are those some of your favorite tropes that you like to write, or is there something else that is
I
your favorite?
I'm actually so bad at writing a true enemies to lovers because what ends up happening is that she hates him or like is annoyed by him and he is obsessed with her. So
Yes.
like that's just how my enemies to lovers, like it's very hard for me to write him hating her. So I would not say that's one of my favorites, although I do love the banter that comes with that. But
I love a good
I think
banter.
I think my all-time favorite trope is fake dating. I just love the angst and the tension that you can build with it and like
Yes.
yeah, it's elite to me.
Fake dating, a grumpy sunshine. I just love when he's just grumpy. And you kind of just need the ray of sunshine to be like, I'm here, I'm ready to mess up your world. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah, we love that.
So, I mean, I don't think there's a trope that I don't like. Well, miscommunication, but
No, but we go
if
back
it's
to
well written,
bad read. Yeah, if we
yeah,
don't like it, it's because it's badly written.
That's
Otherwise,
the
it's
thing is,
fine.
like, sometimes if you're reading a miscommunication trope, you might be frustrated and you might be like, "Oh my god, I hate this," but you're also if you are also like, "But I get it and or I understand," or it's heartbreaking because I understand it,
yeah,
that's when you know it's done well. If you're like, "I'm annoyed because they won't talk to each other and they've had 14 chances to talk to each other," that's different. Like,
Hmm.
that's just not good.
yeah, I've been on both
Yeah,
ends of the scope, to be honest. And that I love this about, because I keep thinking about Below Deck,
it's a choice.
is how the characters feel so real, and it kind of does feel like they are reality TV stars. You know what I mean? Did you base any of these characters on characters from Below Deck?
I did not. I wanted to be
Okay.
really careful to not do that because the characters on Below Deck are real people. So
Yeah.
obviously I'm not trying to like write someone who's a real person.
Okay.
I will say, like, the captain is a little bit of what I love about every single captain on Below Deck. That's probably the biggest, like, mirror that you will see. So he's a little bit Captain Jason, he's a little bit Captain Lee, he's a little bit Captain Sandy, and you can see it
Okay.
all within the different, like, he's Australian, but he's an older gentleman. Like, he's kind of like runs his ship like a tight ship, but also is has like a family connection to, like, you can see it with Ember. Like he's very much like a fatherly figure to her. So that's probably the biggest crossover you're going to see, but everybody else is completely drawn up out of my brain.
Amazing. I love that because I've asked that to authors before. And sometimes like I feel like they do get like a little speck, but I kind of always want to ask, cuz sometimes I mean I have favorite characters like Lisa Vanderpump is my girl. Like I love her and I don't know if you've watched like Vanderpump Rules, but like Stassi, she's another one of my favorites. So I'm just like, I wonder if like she picked this from like I think he's like the Australian chef. Is that what he is? I don't know if he's Australian from
I
Below
have not
Deck.
watched Vanderpump Rules. No,
No, no,
the
no, on Below
on
Deck.
Below Deck.
I don't remember
Is
his
it
name. Is
Australian?
it Ben?
Is he Australian? Is he English? I don't know.
Or
If he,
maybe he's English. I don't know.
I do
Sometimes the
love Ben.
accents.
I do love Ben. He's a mess, but I love him.
He's a hot mess.
He's a hot mess.
Literally. Literally. But I don't know. I'm glad that put your own twist on the characters though.
For sure, for sure. I mean, this was my dream casting, right? Like I got to make a boat full of characters of whoever I wanted to have there. So I was really excited to think about like where they would be from, what their backgrounds would be, who would be hooking up with who. Like it was super fun.
Agreed. It was such a great read. I can't say that enough, honestly.
Yeah. Like even if you like don't love like reality shows, I feel like it gets you into reality shows because like even after like this conversation, I feel like I just need to watch like a reality show now.
100%.
Yes.
Yeah. Again,
Like to see
watching
how it is.
someone
Yeah.
else's life unfold while you're eating popcorn, like it's the best
Yeah.
50 minutes
That
of your
was
life.
that was me reading the book
I
and
love it.
like realizing that sometimes like they literally don't realize there's cameras and they're like doing something and you're like there's the camera and they're like clueless and I don't know if that's a thing like in reality shows.
It is, yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
it's so you'll hear people talk about this a lot. If you ever Watch What Happens Live or, like,
Hmm.
any of the reunions, they talk about how, like, after a while, like, the camera crew and the producers are just, like, there, but, like, you are told from the beginning to ignore them, right? And so you eventually do, and you just are, like, doing your thing and kind of, like, falling into your rhythm, and especially with Below Deck because they are working a super high stress job that has these really long hours. So they're like sleep deprived, they're hanging on by a thread, they're trying to like get their job done and just make it to the next crew night out. 'Cause that's like what they're living for. They're like, I can't wait for the next crew night out. Right. So a lot of times they've talked about how they do forget that the cameras are there, especially the ones that are just like up in the corner of a room.
That's
Like
what I
it's
was about to
one thing to
say.
have like an actual cameraman in your face, but like if you're just like getting dressed or something, like you're not thinking about the camera, you're just thinking about getting dressed and getting out on the boat, you know?
Or like the
Yeah.
ones that are in the sleep cabin.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, there's no
Wait.
privacy here.
Oh,
There's
there's no
cameras
privacy.
in there.
Yeah, I think the only place there's no cameras is the bathroom.
Yeah, the bathroom is the only place without cameras. And I will say, they've Below Deck has become more like they have more couth now. They used to in the older seasons, they would like show video of people like getting it on under the covers and like they would play the noises
It was
and stuff.
messy.
Now they kind of like cut it off. Like you know something's happening, but they just do a real quick clip and then they like cut it real quick and they're like, okay, you can imagine the rest, which I think is nice. It's good for people's privacy, but
The small privacy that
oh,
I'm a little
yeah.
shocked right now.
girl,
We're
reality
talking Laura all day.
TV. I know. We've just blown her mind. Like
Literally.
she's gonna be like, "What's your password so I can get onto this tonight?"
Yeah, I feel yeah, it's almost 9 p.m. I'm gonna do that after.
Speaking of
Oh my
time,
god.
I do have to run here. So before I go, I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for having me on. It's been such a delight to
It
chat with you.
is such a delight.
And anybody who is listening, if you are brand new to me and you're wondering like where to jump in, Love Overboard is such a great place to start. You're going to get a great idea of what my writing is, and it's really fun. I think if you're in the mood for a spring or summer read and like just to have a good time, this is going to be a great book to start with. And I'm also online. So if you like to hang out online and like chat with authors, I love to chat back. So come find me on Instagram or Threads or TikTok, wherever you like to be.
Amazing. Well, I know
Thank
that
you
I
so
definitely will
much.
be in your DM, so please look out for that.
Can't wait.
But I will say this was one of the best books that I've read this year, and we're like in the beginning of 2026. And
Yeah,
I will say, like what early readers have said, this is definitely the book of the summer. So congratulations for writing
yeah.
an absolute gem of a book and allowing us to read it ahead of time as well. I can't thank you enough. It is such a pleasure speaking to you. You are a delight, let me tell you. Of
You too. Thank you guys so much. Seriously appreciate you sharing like your love for books. That's like word of mouth is so important. So thank
course.
you, thank you, thank you. And yeah, and to everybody listening, thanks for hanging out with us.
Of course. So that's all for us today, and we'll catch you on the next one. Bye.
Bye.